three notable things that changed on the N70 Hilux over the years. So let's have a quick chit chat and run through from the start, so then you can make the right decision on buying the right one. Now the right one would of course be a 2015 last of the best, but of course those ones are dearer than the earlier ones. So let's talk about why, and if it's worth spending the extra money to get whatever it is are you actually getting. What changed from 2005 to 2015? Well, let's run through it. So 2005, the diesel, because the diesels were most popular, let's just talk about the diesel. There was of course the V6 option as well, and the engine would be similar through until it probably got the Series 2 of the 1GR also. But at the start from 2005, it had the 1KD. It had the 1KD before the Prado did, and it had the earlier, what we call the Euro 3 option. It didn't have an EGR cooler, which is a nice little bonus. These cars are very old now, so they're pretty cheap. The intakes stay cleaner. The injectors aren't as good as the later ones, but they're good enough. So, whatever, you know. EGR cooler came in around the middle of 2006. With most of these cars, I don't see a lot of changes. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to tell you what's better as they went through the years, what got better, but that doesn't mean your 05 or 06 or 07's rubbish. And I'm just going to run through. There's three major things, okay? That's injectors, brakes, and 5-speed auto, okay? But we'll run through roughly when it happened and a couple of other bonus changes as well if I get it right. So 05, 06 changed to Euro, the next one, with different injectors. The injectors a little bit better, but not much difference. They're just mainly different more than they are better. But the EGR cooler came in, which isn't a big problem, but hey, wouldn't it be nice to not have an EGR cooler on your diesel engine? I'm sure everybody would agree with that. Then we move on to the 07. That's cool, not much changes. 08, not much changing. The main thing that changed in 2008, or before then, they put a coating on the injector seats that was in vehicles from the first month 2008. Okay, so first month 2008 is an improvement because of the coating they put on the copper seats. Now, there was nothing wrong with the copper seats. The biggest issue was people didn't change the injectors, the service schedule. It wasn't getting done the way it was meant to, as per the plan that the Toyota engineers had. So they made some changes to make these seats last longer, and it worked. They do last longer, but they still need maintenance. The injectors need to come out and get replaced regularly, and that's why we supply the injector kits. Bada bing, bada boom, and all the information you need. But this video is not about injectors. If you want more on that, check out the injector information playlist on our YouTube channel. So that was one of your first kind of notable changes that isn't part of the other three that I mentioned. The next one that came along was around about September 09. So once you get near that September 09, that's where we need to either use VIN numbers or, even more reliable, the top code on top of the injector. The first two digits of the compensation code is the most easily accessible and reliable way to know which injectors you've got. So let's say about September 09, the vehicle got better injectors. Okay, so the injectors were certainly different and better. It wasn't the cream on the cake yet, but they were really good. Now, once again, N70 Hilux, awesome car. I'm sure they refined little things, did the little updates, change interior seats and that with your SR and your SR5. You know, you'd get, in the next SR, you'd get what the last SR5 had. You'd get better radios, you'd get better head units, you'd get better trims, different steering wheel, a few things like that. Better or worse, depends how you look at it. One stage it had that black interior, black seats, and really scratchy type interior, which I didn't like, which is why I went for the SR in a 2013. But we're not up there yet. We're sort of working through 09, 10, 11. Around 2010 they started that full DLC injector thing. Even though they did it with the injectors, you're not going to get it until later anyway, so let's not even talk about that. One of the next things that happened was the brakes. Now, everybody would agree that's got the older Hilux, awesome vehicle, but the brakes need a bit more standing on them. So you might not have noticed, and if you haven't noticed, that's fine. braking system's a lot more effective with less pressure. So I believe that happened in sometime in 2011. I can't remember what month, so I'm going to ask for it in the comments. I'm going to ask for 3 things at the end of the video. One's going to be when did the what did I say first? I've even forgot what I'm talking about. First major change, the injectors. That was September 09. Okay, different injectors. What's good about that is though, even though they weren't the DLCs, it means the replacements you can get are full DLC. Where the older ones, they're only 2 out of 3 parts DLC. So still good, still an awesome improvement, and they'll last the time they're required to. I don't know why they didn't do it. I'm not them, but if I was them, I would make it full DLC, because then you've taken care of all the wearing components, and you've just got the nozzle needle that still wears, although it lasts longer, and it wasn't the main wearing component until they improved, you know, the other components and put the coating on it, and now it's back to being the main wearing component, which is traditional for an injector anyway, right? The nozzle sort of needle, seat, that sort of thing. So, not talking about injectors too much. So brakes, what month in 2011 did they upgrade the brakes? To be honest, I can't remember. I think it was early 2011, but I can't remember what month. Moving on anyway, right? In 2012 they did what they call a bit of a facelift. I think they made the bug catcher, you know, the intercooler scoop thing on the bonnet a bit bigger. Instead of having that little one on the side, they centralised it a bit and made it bigger. I think that's really good. Looks good, and they did some different head units and interior and that sort of thing again. So 2012 had an update. It's probably a good place to be from there onwards, but there's still one major component that you're missing out on that I think is probably the most, well, kind of the most important of all. I don't know whether I want the later injectors or it's the transmission, the 5-speed auto, right? Which one I want more. Now, I'm not too fussed about EGR coolers. The brakes, definitely the brake upgrade. So it depends whether this is for you or not. So the brakes in 2011, what month, please, people? The injectors, 9th month 2009. Sorry, I've got to repeat myself because a lot of people miss it and then they ask questions. If I say it to you a few times, you'll bloody remember it. Same as you've heard it in other videos. Same as you should probably watch this video again sometime to gather the info. There's not much to see. As you can see, you can play it in the car while you're driving. You can play my channel and just listen to that voice rambling on and gather the information you need for your vehicle or your vehicle purchase or your vehicle maintenance program. So 2012, yep, she looks good. We've got the upgraded brakes, awesome. We've probably got full DLC injectors in the engine, awesome. Mate, what a vehicle to have. And of course, that's where I chose when I picked our 2013 Hilux to purchase, which happens to be the most popular year, 2013 Hiluxes. It was more sold then, I think, than any other year. I don't know by how much, or I could be wrong or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate, just like 2008 for the 120 Prados. So I got the 2013, and what I missed out on was the 5-speed auto, because I knew obviously it had a full-speed auto in it, but it was about 10 grand cheaper than a vehicle with a 5-speed auto. So that's how valuable the 5-speed auto is to some people. It's just crazy. I'm not sure if the market's still the same or not, but after this video, it probably will be for the people that watch the video. I should probably purchase one myself before I put this video out. So that's an idea. Anyway, right, so I believe it's late 2013. Hey everyone that's got a Hilux N70, who's got the 4-speed, who's got the 5-speed in 2013? Can you put up your month and year and whether it's a 4-speed or a 5-speed, so people know what to look for? I believe it was once again around September, October that they changed to the 5-speed auto, the A750F, just like the Prados. A bloody awesome bulletproof transmission. I think once again one of the best transmissions ever built. Not to take away from the ones that were built later than that, they're probably very good as well, the 60s and all that. The 6-speed, awesome, but it's just not been around as long. But I believe it's going to be just as good once it's tested and proven. Same thing. Once we get into 8 and 10-speed autos, I don't know if that's going to be drama in years to come, but it sounds like there's too much going on to me. But so they're your 3 major things, right? Your brake upgrade, your injectors, we'll put it back in the order of what happened. The injector upgrade, September 09. Your brake upgrade, let's just say sometime in 2011. Could have been late 10, I could be wrong, but definitely by 2011 sometime. And then your 5-speed auto by late 2013. They're your 3, if you can afford it, your 3 major upgrades, which is why a 2013, late 13, 14, 15 last of the best is actually the best, because they've been around for 10 years, they're tried and tested, they've got all the upgrades you need. The 5-speed auto's bulletproof, right? You've got the full DLC injectors were either in there already, and when you replace them and get them from me, you're going to get that same thing again. There is other part numbers available that you will end up with not full DLC injectors. There is other suppliers that you could have rebuilt injectors in the same boxes as the new ones. You don't know what you're going to get. You only want brand new, genuine, fresh, full DLC with the pipes, with all the seals and gaskets, with the right procedures. I've got to include it because you know what? It's all part of the info, because if you don't get it all and get it right, you could end up downgrading. Oh, put some new injectors in this thing, I've got last of the best, and you think, oh, I'll just get them somewhere else because I text Anthony and he didn't reply. Well, you didn't text me. You might have had iMessage on. Touch the message. If it's blue, it'll give you the option send as text message. Text messages, people, right? Now, always stay tuned on the Prado Hospital Facebook page if you do want to purchase those parts, because I'll let you know when we're open and closed and what the best days to order are. It's all done by text message. There's no website. Don't be confused. Follow the information closely. Don't miss a thing, and you're in good hands. That's why I would buy the latest Hilux. You might find the early ones a lot cheaper though, so it all depends on your budget. I just wanted to be clear about the upgrades. There's nothing that really matters other than what it looks like, other than those things we spoke about. There's nothing else I can think of. So bada bing, bada boom. Good luck with your 2014-15 N70 Hilux purchase. Thanks for listening. Hope it helps. Hit the like button. Catch you on the next one.